Here is a Galaxy wind machine fan. There were 3 of these that I know of, 3 different versions over the years. This is the original one. It says Galaxy on the back knob there. It's a 3-speed. It's a really odd looking fan. I have mixed feelings about these. On one hand, they're kind of abysmal. They're an absolute aerodynamics disaster. They're noisy. They don't move a whole lot of air. Total pain in the neck to clean. Super cheap, chintzy build. But then on the other hand, they're kind of an icon of the 80s and the 90s, where those like weird space age looking products were coming out, futuristic designs and so forth. And this fits right into that whole scheme. And as cheap as it may be, it still works almost 30 years later, so it can't be that bad. Another oddity is it has a phenomenal startup sound, which is really strange considering everything on this fan, down to the motor housing itself, is plastic. So I don't know what it resonates from. It has a fake plastic screw on one side of the handle, which I always thought was funny. I got this, I remember getting this very distinctly. I got it at a local tag sale many years ago. This was one of the first couple tag sales I'd ever gone to. And it was at like an old farm property. I'm not sure if I don't think so that it's an active farm anymore, but there was a good amount of land. They had a couple of barns on the property, and I had bought several fans there, and maybe a couple of phones too, I think, actually. But I had gone multiple times because the location was on the way to my uncle's house, and I had gone over there. I used to go over there all the time, and so I would go by there regularly. And they had at that tag sale a Hunter, I forget what it was. It was a Hunter something, a Whisper Breeze or whatever, something like that. New in the box. And I didn't get it, and I don't know why. To this day, I wish I had gotten it, because it was kind of a cool fan. But anyways, so that's where this one came from. This is one of the earlier fans I added to my collection. This is going back to probably... Oh, was that in high school? Yeah, I don't know. Probably very... Actually, no, I was at high school. I would have been in college at the time, because I had the YouTube already at this time. And I think there's actually a video of this, of the findings of that tag sale, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there is. And there should be videos of cleaning this up too. This was probably 2014, 2015. I would have been in college at the time. Anyway, so this brings back some fond memories of those earlier days when I really started to ramp up my collection, and I started the channel and so forth. I don't think that this has any information tags on it anywhere. Well, there's the model number. It's the model 9163. The Galaxy 9163. And I don't know if something's missing there at the bottom. It might be missing, I don't know. I vaguely recall putting this thing back together was an absolute fiasco and a half, so I wouldn't be surprised if something was missing and I just gave up. I've never really used this much in practice, although now that I have I have multiple rooms that are pretty big now. So a lot of these 18, 20-inch fans I've had, and they've been idle for the last couple of years since I've had them, are now going to start to get used because now I have the space for them. And while this one I'm not necessarily sure will be a frequent flyer because the performance kind of stinks, I could definitely think of a few situations where I could use this and it would be a good fit for the use case. So let's go ahead and turn it on and see how it works. I think this is the first fan video here in the new studio, so hopefully the lighting is good. It seems like it could be a little bit shadowy, so perhaps the light fixtures need to be moved back a little, or some additional light needs to be added from behind. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to review the video when I'm done. So we have the kilowatts meter here, which is saying 1.18 volts. Nothing would work. It's reading 118 volts on the nose. I'll switch it to amps, and you'll see this does dim the lights when it turns on. It's horrifically inefficient. And it just recently developed that buzzing sound, and by recently I mean over the last like 15 minutes. I had turned it on before the video just to make sure that it still works, and it was quiet when I first turned it on, and then I let it run for a few minutes. I went and did something upstairs, and then I came back down and it sounded like this. So I don't know what's going on. Something come loose, or the windings need to be revarnished. It doesn't seem like anything is loose. I don't feel nothing loose. I can't seem to get it to go away. But yeah, it's kind of annoying. So I might have to take that apart. So the airflow is like, it's all over the place. There's a kind of air like fighting out the sides here a little bit. Air coming out the top a bit. And then there's air coming out the front, but it's just a really slow breeze. And I mean, as far as travel goes, which I can actually test now because I can get far away from the fan in the studio, it actually does travel. Like, I'm all the way across the room here, and I can feel it. It's a very gentle breeze, but you can feel it. For a fan this size, it is certainly disappointing. You can get the same air movement 10 feet away from a 6-inch fan, so that's definitely disappointing. It really fails to deliver in terms of performance. But it's still kind of cool. The 7-wing blade is unusual, and you look at it, it's like, that's a fan. It's a cool little, it's a cool product. But like a lot of these ones that have an interesting design, it's function over form, which is not good practice. Alright, so power draw for this abysmal air movement is 1.06 amps, 86 watts with a power factor of 0.68. It's probably a 6-pole shaded pole motor, I guess. Yeah, that's what those plastic Marco motors were. Alright, let's go up to the medium. Yeah, that buzz is definitely coming out somewhere in the motor, I think. And now it just starts to get ridiculously loud for the airflow. It is pushing more air now, but it's still not much. It's very, very low airflow. Very, very low velocity. And they give a decent volume to it because the fan is large, the surface area is large, but it's just really poor velocity. I know this blade can do better. That D blade was pretty good. It's the stupid guard. It's just a complete aerodynamics disaster. I'm going to take a break. I got to talk on the phone now. Alright, that was a stupid conversation. Okay. Now I'm irritated, and now we can proceed with the video. I think it was on medium. Well, there's no reason to think. is. And the power draw is 1.45 amp, 119 watts with a power factor of 0.69. Now we'll go to the high. And the noise level here is just abysmal for the amount of air that's moved. It moves an okay amount of air on high, but it's just not what you would expect for a fan this size making this much noise. It should be moving a lot more air. On high it's 2 amps, 2.02 amps, 170 watts with a power factor of 0.72. And it seems to still have a good spin down, although the blade is totally out of clock. Can hardly even see the blade because the stupid guard is so thick. Yeah, you see how bad the blade is out of clock? I don't know if it's starting to warp yet. Unfortunately, these D blades are starting to warp, which is a shame because I don't know how to fix that. Doesn't look too bad yet, but I'm sure it's just a matter of time. Alright, let's see if we can grab that startup sound, and then that will wrap up the video. Hi. I don't know what's with that buzzing. The startup sound is kind of ruined now because of that. And something's wrong with the dial because it's totally misaligned. And I don't know why it's like that. This is all falling off. Well, there was medium, which is allegedly high. So it's like one notch forward or something. It's kind of strange. Okay, now low. Did that buzzing go away? Yeah, it did. That's pretty out of balance. It's not too bad, but it does shake a fair bit. Well, that's cool. It just fixed itself, I think. Yeah, it seems quieter now. Okay, works for me. Alright, well that's it for this one. The Wind Machine by Galaxy.